Hello all, uh, welcome to Cadmatic Draw basic training. My name is Antto Heino. I'm here to guide you through all these basic steps how to use the Cadmatic Draw application when using your CAD drawings. Uh, from the video you can find timestamps so you can jump between different topics, so please find them below the video in case you are logging in them in the Cadmatic portal. So let's go first for the interface of the Cadmatic Draw, where you can find what you can find and what you will eventually need in your basic CAD drawings. Maybe the easiest way to do this or search all these things is to just create a new drawing from your left top. You can find create a new drawing icon, press that one and you will get a new drawing. At the moment I am using the software version with that I am using. You can check the same from your version from the right top corner from the arrow there and select about, and you can see that I have this Draw 24T1 version. So it's slightly new version at this stage. So you may be watching this recording much later on, so you may have some newer features in the draw, but the basics are and the principles of how to use things, it's pretty much the same still. So now you have your new drawing set, which you selected from here, and it creates a new drawing, and the drawing itself is not saved to any place yet, so you don't have to worry about that. It's there only to us to see how things work. Well, about the user interface, let's go maybe from top to bottom in order how you can find things. Basic opening, saving, and new drawing things as we already did. Some undo and redo, printing stuff you can find from the top level or the top of the software, and also some settings for your grid, ortho, snap, filtering, and etc. And these features will be shown you a bit later on this training, that how you can use these ones. A new feature in the 24 version is to have this search bar, which means that you can search any function that you well, maybe if you don't know if the draw has these features, you can try to type it in, or then if you know, I know there's this kind of feature in the draw, but I don't know where to find it. You can use this search bar just to type in, for example, stretch. Okay, first of all, I can press the find button, find the thing that I want, or then I can select run. So it actually is the same as you click this icon on the ribbon. So if you press run, you can start stretching things. Now it's pretty much impossible since we don't have any elements in the drawing. Then at the moment I have this application setting I have set to draw, but now depending, in case you have only a draw or that then you may have other uh, other drawing types as well. I mean, not drawing types. I mean, softwares, maybe electrical or something else. You may have those here, but today only draw with no sub application activated in there. From this gearbox or gear, you can select application settings. We can find them elsewhere as well, but it's a bit different as the other settings that we have. Then sometimes you may want to search for help regarding Draw or other softwares. If you press help, you will find our online help, and this is it opens in your browser, which one you are using, Firefox, Chrome, or even Edge. You can have them there. And again, if you want to search for some some instructions on how to use it, just maybe that way, stretch. You can find help how to stretch objects, for example, or any other function that we have in the draw. You can find using the help. I highly recommend that you figure out this help here. Then we already checked about the this about section, where you check for what kind of software you are running or what version you are running on. But then we can also check again. We can open the help, but there are some update services. You can check the updates. Some other instructions, and then you can also go to mycadmatic.com. It's more related to, for example, electrical. There's some guide videos how to use electrical, but also this recording will eventually be found in that mycadmatic as well. You need to sign in there, register once, and then you have plenty of material to learn from. Then, not to stop to there, let's continue with the actual functions that we have in this software, where you can find them. We call it a ribbon, and actually let's go all the ribbon tabs one by one. First of all, there's the file, which means that you can pretty much do a new drawing, new from a template. You can open some directories where you have these drawings, your own directories, or then you can go, for example, and exercise drawings directories. Exercise drawings, well, we will go to them later on. Then you can find the recent files. At the moment, I have no recent files, but if I had, it will list nine files that you have opened, 9 past files that you have opened. Then the save functions, some important things you can import, read out there. You can read there what are all these things that you can import, and then printing options and some settings can be found here. Let's go for these settings a bit later. Then the ribbon has these basic features regarding, well, the tab or ribbon tab says it's home. These are the main drawing features that you can use with the draw. Any type of line, which you may figure out. Then of course some modifications for that line, the so-called whoopsie button. So in case you misclick something or you have to just somehow go back in time, undo can be found here, also from the top, and then the symbol features are here, layers, which will be also, these ones will be explained a bit later, and then the last one is copy paste, which can be also found from your keyboard, Control C and Control V as copy and paste. Annotate ribbon, well, as the name says, it annotates. You can uh, type in text using these features. You can create different dimensions there, some leaders and markups for your drawing. And the last one, tools, some drawing settings. All these can be found also from your top. For example, the grid, you can turn it on here. It will turn off here. I mean, and then on the left bottom corner as well, check out, if I press the grid on here, it will actually light up this place as well. So that way, there's many ways to do modifications for the grid settings. For example, you can, from the drop down menu, you can select grid on and off, or then in case you want, you can use your right mouse click here on the grid and select on off, or then even you can double click that one and it will open you the drafting settings on how you want to, for example, for the grid, how you want to use it, what is the spacing of the grid, and so forth. Regarding layout, you can find things here. We will be using those in the end of this training. Then some settings regarding the groups will be introduced as well. And then some calculations and other features are here as well. Today we are not going to concentrate on these view settings, and actually regarding view we have more features about the view cube, so you can rotate your drawing in case you need to have some 3D features. You can use this view cube to rotate the view. That's about all these ribbon tabs, and let's go south. There is this properties section, which will always show you the properties of the selected element that you have in the drawing. And this properties window can be moved where you want. You can dock it on the top as it was on the left, on the right, or on the bottom. For me, I like it to be on the left hand side. You can pin it so it will go, and you can open it, or every time you put your crosshair on it, it will open. And then there is this other option, is to have your external references, which by the way weren't visible a minute ago. But you can see we have the external references here as its own tab. And in case you want, you can grab from the header there, and you can have the whole window, and you can, for example, dock it to your right hand side. Now, pay attention a bit. In case you want to have them in two tabs on the same window, you need to pull from the header and to here to this cross mark, big cross, and point to the center of that, and you can have two different tabs on your properties and external references windows. Meaning so, because sometimes if you try to have it here, they will go uh, one to the bottom, one to the top, and if that way it will be docked here. So you need to point out the center of this plus or cross mark, how you want to say it, and then um, well, the external references will be explained also later on, uh, how to use them and so forth. And then few important things regarding today. You can find the coordinates. This is the absolute coordinate of the drawing. It's the points the coordinates all the time of your crosshair. And then there is this uh, relative coordinate, which means that it's relative to your first click, and you can see they are now somewhat different. And the coordinates, they work in a way that uh, from x and y, it's a normal coordinate. This is a positive coordinate for both negative x, positive y, both negative, and then x positive and y negative. So coordinates turn the same way you have learned in your mathematics class in years back. But then we can continue for the settings that I mentioned earlier that we will go through. You can enter your settings from here, home settings and general settings, or then you can learn a quicker way to open them just by clicking this gear on the command line, which I actually forgot to mention that the command line here is something you should follow, and you can it's somewhat invisible, but when you go near it, it will be on again visible. Again visible, and of course you can type in things for this here, in case you want to type in something like the line. You can start the line, drawing the line to your drawing. Okay, uh, that was something I didn't I wasn't mentioned to tell you, but I told you anyway. The general settings, let's go back to that. You can find them from the gear as well. It will open the same settings as always. Well, I will go in order of these. The order is necessary, of course. First, the documents. How you want to save your documents, compress the DW file, so forth, some basic settings. But the most important thing here is the automatic save and how to create, if you want to create a backup copy before save. Okay, about the automatic save first. It means that it will save automatically between 15 minutes and it will be saved to the directory that you have selected. It will be the active document directory, or then it will be the some other location that you have selected. For example, you may have a C drive which has a directory for automatic save. The file will be something called automatic save underscore and the file name. So it won't be actually automatically saving this drawing one, rather it's going to create an other automatic save file of your drawing. you can change the automatic save interval here. Then there is create backup copy before save. Uh, it's a bit different. Means that every time you open this already existing drawing, it will create a backup of that drawing. And, and the backup will be saved. You can also have an active document directory, or then you can have it in some C drive, such as this C/backups. You can define how many backup copies you want to store, and the name of these are pretty much backup underscore and then the file name. Please think through which one, or if you will need to both, but I highly recommend that at least one of these will be in your settings activated. For me, I don't need this in my job, but if I was a designer, I used to be one, so I recommend either of these, or at least one of these should be in use. Then the DWG and DXF files. We are somewhat compatible with AutoCAD file formats, DWG and DXF files. You can define the save format, which will be as a default. You can also, of course, when you save to DWG, you can select which format you want to have. At the time, we can save pretty much to all AutoCAD DWG file types. Also, the DXF has pretty long, almost over 20 years of formats to be selected from. These conversion files, conversion files, they will be explained a bit later regarding how you can use the DWG when you open it, or then how you will be using it when you use it as a reference drawing. Okay, directories. In case you open your draw for the first time for this training, you may have this directory memory set off. And it means that every time you press the open button, it will go to this this place. But if I select the drawing memory, it will know which drawings I have here, how to use those. It remembers in a better way where I have been. But in case I only have this year, it will every time open the same location. When it opens the this Windows Explorer, it will always go to this defined drawing directory. So for me, I like to have this drawing memory activated. Some menu and template directories can be found here. Regarding draw, you may not want to have any more of these directories. I think you should be pretty much happy with these settings. And these application directories, actually, you saw them when I clicked here on this gear top right corner. That is also, these are the same settings. It means where you can find your own symbols, where you can find the comments, and where the menus in case you are using Draw as just a normal user, you don't have any specifications there, you will be using this these menus. You don't have to do any changes there. Then some general settings. Um, Maybe the most important things regarding here. Default type for me it's a modern. The grip edit. So in case you insert some elements to the drawing, for example the line, you can define which size the handlebar is in the drawing. So in case you want to have it bigger or maybe in some other color, you can define it here. And then also the selected handle color can be selected to a different color if you like. Crosshair size can be defined here. And the last one is the usage methods, which means the command shortcuts. For me, it's a default. I use the Cadmatic shortcuts, but some users may also be familiar with the AutoCAD shortcuts, such as copy should be CO and space or CP and space or enter. That way you can copy things, but in Cadmatic it's, for example, it's the key insert. Then you can define which one you want to use. And in case you go for AutoCAD, you select edit. Yep. Here you can see you can define, for example, here is the CO and CP. They are both copy. You can select them and you can define any keyboard synonyms, and you just have to know the command in Cadmatic Draw, so you can have the shortcut there. Also the selection style is, so I will actually show it to you now. So in case you have like 3 circles in, so in Draw you can do the selection from top to bottom. Now it's a green window with this dashed line, and it means that everything that's part of this line or touches this line will be selected. Like so, now I have all 3 elements selected. But if I do it from down to top, it will only select elements that are completely inside this window, meaning that now I only select this one. And as mentioned, we have different settings for Draw and AutoCAD. In AutoCAD, the selection is from left to right and right to left. If I change, I need to restart the software. I don't want to do so. But you can change if you feel like you have more background with the AutoCAD format. Then the user interface. You can change many things. First of all, the theme. We are now stuck with two different themes. They are light and dark. Again, if I change, I need to restart the software. I want to only have this light. But then the drawing area color means the background color of your drawing area. In case you want, you can say, for example, to red. Well, not that nice. Let's go back to number 9. Or then, for example, white, which is quite nice for this background color as well. Crosshair color can be defined there as well. And then last few things, the layout tabs, which means these on the bottom, the model and the layouts, where you want them to be, and the document tabs, which are on the top. At the moment, you can define also their location. Command line can be defined with how big you want it to be, how wide. didn't change that much. Maybe I need to close this window, and then the location of it that you want it to be left, center, or right. And in case you want, you can select use classic command line, which is a docked window in the bottom here. Toolbar size or toolbar icons, in case you use the old toolbars, which can be used, you can change the size of those here. And then in case you want the view cube to be shown, you can select it to be shown. Today we won't be needing that, so I will change it to do not show that. And actually, do not show the view cube toolbar either. Printing settings will be explained later on today when we are talking about the printings, so I won't be going too much into those. And the last one is some advanced settings. I highly hope that no one has to do any settings here, but of course, check out these ones in case you need to do some changes for your settings in order to have some better experience. Then apply and OK. And you can see, for example, the Viv cube is now gone from my interface. Yes, and then you have your user interface all set. You can continue for this. We can actually continue doing the exercise, and let's start with how to open already existing drawings, how to create some DWG files of them, how to use the DWG files, and so forth. So this will be not yet, we are not going to create a new drawing here yet, but we are more likely to be using the already existing ones. And one DRW file that you can find is you can open this file, open an exercise drawings directory. Click that one open. And then you can see here a few things. In case you have already also this electrical application installed, you will have the electrical here. In case you only have a draw, you will have these two sample drawings here. You can find this translating exercise.drw. DRW is a native file format that we use in Cadmatic Draw and all the sub applications for the draw, such as electrical. But we are also compatible with the DWG, which is the AutoCAD format. Well, you can open this DRW file, double click it, or then drag it to your drawing area. Well, you can see the drawing is open there, and every time you open a drawing, it will create a log file. It's a DRL file, so it means that no one else can use your file than you, as long as it's open. They can only open it on read-only format, so they cannot modify the drawing. Okay. Well, there seems to be some sort of maybe a kitchen table, all furniture, and some electrical devices. So this may be an electrical drawing. These are somewhat location-specific symbolics used here, but don't worry about that. Let's go through some basics on how this drawing has been done and what you can do about it. First of all, you can see there are a few different colors in the drawing. For example, all the electrical equipments are now using the red color, and all the kitchen cabinets and furniture and also the walls, they are now black lines in the drawing. So what is here? How is it done? First of all, let's, for example, select this chair here. Check that you have this properties window on your left hand side, or either if you use it from the right hand side, any but for me it's on here, the properties window. You can see all the properties regarding this one element that we have selected here. First of all, color of this one element is black, and this means that we have defined the color number one, the black, is only for this one object here. Then there is a layer that it's defined to, and the layer is at the moment it's a furniture, but you can see there are more other layers as well. Let's go to the layers a bit later. Some line types, definitions, and so forth. Some geometry, since this is a polyline, you can see there's an x and y coordinate for that one, and some other polyline settings. Okay, close that one and select maybe something else, maybe this line here. Same thing, it's a color is one, kitchen cabinets is the layer, and the line type is dash dot. So you can see it's not a continuous line. And then maybe you check one red electrical equipment there, and there you can see the layer is E, light fixtures, color is 2, and then some other things related to that. And now some terminology regarding these lines and these chairs, for example, these are not symbols. These are only objects or elements in the drawing. They are not symbols. But these electrical equipments, these are symbols, such as this light fixture here. You can see it's a symbol. It has a name for the symbol, and it has attributes. You can fill in some text and so forth, and even some common attributes, such as the elevation for the light fixture. Same thing for the ceiling lights or then socket outlets. You can see they are symbol type, and then there is also an ID for attribute, or attribute for the ID that way. Then there is same thing about, well, let's have this here. This isn't, well, it's a symbol, but it's a different kind of symbol than this one here. And you can see it's already on different layer. It's a list description. So here are some symbols that are listed, that are used in the drawing, and on the right hand side they are listed from top to bottom. But you can see some explanations that what kind of symbolics there are in the drawing. Well, to learn what are the layers that we have in the drawing, select the Home ribbon, and from here, first of all, open the layer dialog, and you can see all the layers that we have in the drawing. A underscore and something means the so-called architectural elements, and then there is E underscore, which means it means those electrical equipment. All layers have their colors. They have some default line types here, and of course this was the line weight. Colors can be defined here, but it doesn't affect on the drawing directly. You have to change one setting for that there as well. But let's see. For example, we have the doors are now, the layer color is magenta, number 7, But when we go to the doors, which I think is this one, yeah, the color is number 1. And if you want to check here how it works, now is number 1, the color, but you want to maybe see the colors by layers. So select from the layer dialog and check colors by layers. Now they are coming from the objects, which means we can set the color, but if you select colors by layers, well, the yellow isn't that visible here, but now we have the magenta is there. And if you select it, still the symbol, oh my bad, the element color is still number 1, but the actual color is now coming from the layer and it's number 7. Well, maybe I want to change the color of the layer for kitchen cabinets. This number 3 isn't that visible at the moment, so maybe we will select some. Let's select that one, 30, to Cadmatic orange. So when I press OK, the color of the kitchen cabinets is changed by the layers. So you can change the colors which way you want to see them in your drawing. Then about the layers as well, you can turn on and turn off the layers. You can select turn off layer from the ribbon menu, turn off layer. For example, I want to turn off all light equipment, and it turns off all the elements that are set for the light equipment. Then other option is to you select one object on the drawing, right mouse click and turn off layer, which means it will turn off this e-socket outlets layer off. And now we have only a few things left here, and you can decide which way you want to turn off the rest of the electrical layers. And like so, you have done some uh, changes for these layers. In case you want to turn them on back and you want them to do it, you can select the turn on and point out, for example, that one, or then you can go for the layer dialog and then select here, for example, select all and press the turn on selected layers, and now you will have them all set. I guess you can see the orange light bulb. Apply OK, and now I have all the layers again turned on. Then with the layers, you can now select everything on the drawing from top to bottom, bottom to top. Anything can be selected, but sometimes you may want to have some things locked in your drawing, and you can select lock object layers. And for example, I want to lock the kitchen cabinets, and let's see how it works. When now they are locked, so I selected the lock, pointed out in the drawing, and then when I try to select things, I cannot select the kitchen cabinets anymore. Let's try that one more time. I want to select that one, also the wall, also the door, furniture, like so. Let's see what we can now select here. Well, the sink is still something that we can select, but all the other things is now pretty much in the drawing so that you cannot have them. Also this. The sink is the last one here that I didn't click. And again, you can unlock things from here, or then go back to layer dialog, select all, and unlock things. This locking of layers will come pretty handy when you have some things related to the external reference. You maybe want the background to be locked in the external xref layer. Well, not that much to be uh, about these layers, but still regarding the selection which you are doing, you can try how it's working in case you turn on the filter. And maybe I want to have the filter so that I will select only uh, where is it? Okay, well, let's have a symbol. So now I have my filter on and it's filtering only symbols from the drawing. I will select everything from here, and in the second click I will only get the symbol type objects to be selected. This is a thing that somehow, for some reason, for example, users may misclick this feature on and they cannot select everything on the drawing. They maybe have some text only that they can select again. So in case you have some issues with the how to select objects in the drawing, first of all, check that the objects are not locked on some locked layer, uh, like we had previously. And then the next thing is to select, do you have, or check if you have any filters on your drawing, so that now I don't have any filters. Now I can select everything from the drawing. Then I told you that we are going to uh, look how to save things to DWG and how to maybe open the DWG drawing as well, how to use those and so forth. Uh, uh, First of all, when you want to, for example, this translating exercise DRW, if you want to save that to a DWG file, you can do it from the Save As, and you can select either Save in DWG format. If you select that one, it will just go to the same, do this Save As, but it will already select you the default DWG format that you have in your settings. It will select that one for you, and it will change it to a DWG. Then you press Save, just as in a way which you would do to any DWG or any file type, even if it's some Office file that you modify in Excel. It will be the same to save it as a DWG from Cadmatic. Then other way is to select Save As a Save As. It will be the same location as a default. It will offer you the Save As type as a DWG, but you can select the AutoCAD format DWG like so. Then press, in case you want to change the file name, you of course do that, but then you press Save. And this active document here is now the DWG. And when you go to check, you can find actually the DRW is now closed one, and you have a DWG file, an AutoCAD file format, and its log file as well. Close the DWG drawing there and try to open. Now, depending what kind of, what is your default software for DWG files, maybe you have AutoCAD on your computer, so it will at least try to be your default, but you can also select the draw to be your default for DWG files. But still, I recommend that you drag the drawing to the drawing area, or then you go from here, just open, and then select the DWG file and open it to your draw, to your draw, and in that way you will have the DWG file open for you, and you can continue doing any type of drawing here. So it doesn't matter if you have DRW or as the native document type, or then you can have a DWG file already, and you can do any modifications here just as you would do in a DRW file. And again, if you do changes, just press the save button, and you will be uh, in case you use the DWG in other softwares, then it's maybe easier to use the DWG as your file for Cadmatic Draw as well. But when maybe if you are using electrical software on a Cadmatic electrical, I mean, in that case, I highly recommend that you use the DRW files. Okay, we have then created this DWG file, and as mentioned, you can use them in which way you want to use them. But I was thinking that maybe we could use this DWG file as an external reference to a new drawing that we are going to make. Well, I made this drawing one already. I will close that one. I won't save it, but I will start a new drawing with you. Let's see how it goes, how we can do it. New drawing can be started from this new drawing here, or then from the file new. And you can either select new from template, which means that you may have some already existing things in the drawing, and it will copy those from the template to the new drawing uh, how you want it. Well, the new drawing here, I will select it this way. It will only create a drawing. Now it's drawing 2. There is no help, no guidance how to actually set up the drawing. First of all, you need to save it for your new drawing. I will say save as, and I will actually save it to the same location. This is, let's say this is a floor plan 1, and I will have it as a Cadmatic drawing, so it's a DRW file format. Select save, and it will save it to there. So now I have these 2 drawings. They are both in the same directory, but in this floor plan 1, as mentioned, I would like to use this translating exercise DWG as my external reference. External references, you need to have this window or tab here, and in case you didn't have it, you only have a properties, you can select file, settings, and show external references window. And that way it will open here, and I already explained how to have these different windows here docked. External references that we have, now there are 3 options as a reference: drawings, you can have an image here, and you can also have an IFC file as an external reference. Today we are going to use the DWG file here, but you can also, as mentioned, you can use the DRW, which is the native file format, and also PDF files can be used as an external reference. In the PDF files, just follow the instructions, and you will have to point out to already known distances, for example, some module lines or door frames, and you will have to tell what is the distance there in millimeters, and it will be scaled. But the reference drawings, and you can use your right mouse click on here and select reference drawings, or from the plus mark and select reference drawings. Either way, it will open you the same here, and you can select which drawing you want to have your external ref. and select this translating exercise here, which you should have. And before that, go to your settings, and then you can see it went to the Documents tab. And this is the same general settings that we went through earlier, but now this is a brief moment to have a look around what are the things here. And what I'm talking about is the conversion files. It means that how you want to have your things looking on Cadmatic side. As mentioned, DWG is an AutoCAD format, and we are not we cannot use it as such, but we can use these conversion files to get these DWG drawings visible in Cadmatic Draw. So the conversion files can be found behind these three dots, and as a template, let's say, you have four different uh, conversion files. This is these CNV files, and you can select any of those there. I will show a bit from the conversion file editor how it is, what it actually means. These are the same. This is colors to CNV, and here is the conversion file name, and the three others can be found there as well. The most important way to say is that when about the colors, that's the most visible one, I would say, in these conversion files. It means that when you have a color number 1 in DWG, what color it should be showing on a DRW file. No. What color it should be showing you in Cadmatic Draw. Again, same thing with the number 7 in the DWG file. It should be on color number 1 on Cadmatic Draw. So this is the conversion that we are talking about. Same thing about the line types. Same thing with the text style. Anything here, and you can edit any of these settings here and just select the conversion file, or you can even create your own conversion file, which you can use in this in your project, and you can share the conversion file with your other colleagues so that the whole company will have the same conversion file. Yep. Well, I don't want to do any changes for these, since nowadays the external references can be changed as a whole. You can change the colors and so forth. So this is just to let you know that how it's done. I will select the translating exercise here, open. And now for the first, how to attach the reference drawing. First of all, you need to give it a name. And well, you can give it any name here, and it will be visible here in the reference drawings as a list, and you can see the name. This is more like an explanatory name for the thing, rather than it won't actually be naming the actual file name. It won't be giving any name for that. Then there is a setting that the create path relative to master file path. So this floor plan 1 DRW is the master path. Master file, excuse me, and then if you uncheck that one, you can see now it's not relative, it's absolute file path. So if someone else opens this floor plan 1 and I haven't checked this box here, they should have the whole drawings in the same file path as I have. They need to build the same type of directory path. But when I check the path is relative to master file path, it means that this translating exercise DWG should be next to this floor plan 1. Or then if this is in some, let's say, xref directory, which is located next to this floor plan, there should be maybe the xref directory name. The next thing is that reference drawing type. Is it a reference or overlay? Reference, maybe another name for that should be an attachment. So will it be sticking around when you send this floor plan to someone, or then is it an overlay, which means that it's just on your screen you will see that one, but when you send this floor plan one to someone else, they won't have the xref anymore with them. And then the insertion points and angle scales, you can modify them if you need to do so. After everything is set, press OK and find this zoom extends button here, and you will find that the floor plan has this new this new external ref. First of all, you can turn on and turn off the whole external ref on your project. This will actually, it won't turn off any layers, but it will turn off this external ref to be seen. You can change the color of this external reference by changing here. You can change the alt color maybe to green, not so nice. And if you select not set, it will be as the default colors and depending on the conversion file which you have. In case you selected the thin 9 or thin 1, it should be looking pretty much like this one. So it's the number 1 or number 9 as an external ref. External reference also save the drawing, by the way, once in a while. External reference also has some layers in it. Of course, we have it in a DWG, so let's see how the layers work. At the moment, the draw application doesn't have any xref layer as an automatic. In case you use electrical, there will be an xref layer added, and the whole xref will be turned for this xref layer. So I will be doing the same, so I don't want to use the layer 0 to be on my xref. So I will create a new layer from here and then type in just the name for that. It's an xref, like so. Yet we don't do anything else. That's just the thing we need to do here. But you can see there are other things in this. Let's say we have the junction box or some electrical light fixtures. You can turn on or you can turn off. Just double click the light bulb. How can you see it? I have too big screen here on the window. When I press apply, it will turn off these layers. So you can modify layer settings even if you are using the external ref in your drawing. Okay, so the layers are now pretty much set. So all these are the same layers that we used to have in this translating exercise DWG file. Layer number 0 is always, when you create a new drawing, it will always appear. And then there is an xref file, xref layer, which we will be changing the layer for this external ref. So this external ref is actually a one big object, and inside the object there are different layers. But as a whole object, you can change that one to be on some other layer still, and we want to change it to be on a layer xref as we selected before. So this means now that we can lock the layer and we don't have to think about. Usually the layer number 0 is something that you use. It's always available for you. But when you lock a layer, you cannot draw using that layer. You cannot you cannot insert anything using that layer. So in that case, make sure you change the layer to the xref. Check how I created this layer just a minute ago, and then change the xref layer activated there. But still, you can do some modifications in this floor plan one. For example, you can turn off the layers just as before, select turn off, and you can still turn off socket outlets, light fixtures, texts, uh, switches, and junction boxes. You can turn off anything. And if we now go to the layer dialog, still the xref is turned on, but the switches are off, socket outlets off, light fixtures, junction box, and markings are off. So there are layers inside the external ref, but there's one layer which we will be having the whole floor one uh, object. Save your drawing. One more thing about these external references is that sometimes you may need to do some changes. Let's say I need to delete that one, and that one. Just select them by drawing a window across them, click and click. So you can select multiple chairs there, and maybe you want to delete all these explanations here. So when you have selected everything, press delete and your drawing is updated. Press save, so you can save the drawing and then go back to your floor plan. And now there should appear, let's wait a second so the minute changes, but you should be able, yeah, like that. You can see here is a star on the next to the floor, and here you can see reference drawing at disk has changed. So we made a change for the DWG file, and now this one noticed a change in the saving date, and there has been some changes in the drawing. So it says you can update all from here, use your right mouse click, or then you can go to this reference drawing here and select right mouse click, or then here update all or update selected, either way. Update all, and now it's updated. And now they are not turned off. Remember, we deleted them from this DWG file. It's pretty much done now. So that way we can do it. The last thing is to do before we continue to other topics, you can lock layers in the external references. It means that we will lock this xref layer, and in case you remember, when you lock the layer, you cannot select it anymore from the drawing. And anytime you add more and more, even you add 5 external references, they will all be on the xref layer now. And after that, when you free the layer, you can select any of the external references, and when you lock it, you cannot do that anymore. Then we have all these external references checked out, and we can move on for actually drawing something like this for ourselves, and maybe in the end doing some printing for that. Continue by creating a new drawing. Select a new drawing like so, and save the drawing using the save as, and give it maybe a floor plan 2 as an external, as a name. Then save it, and you will have the floor plan there. I was thinking that maybe we could draw some kind of barn that maybe people have on their yard. There are some features in that what we can use. We can learn how to use different coordinates, how to use lines, and also the layers that we are going to do here. First of all, start by creating layers when you have done the drawing floor plan 2. Start by opening the layer dialog, and we will create some layers here. In this exercise, we won't be doing any external references, so those are already behind us. You don't have to mind about those anymore. Few things that we want to have in this barn. Let's have the different parts of the building as layers. For example, walls should be one layer. Let's have all the layers with the color number 1, which we are doing. Give it a doors should be like one layer. Again, create new one. Windows, yeah, and then maybe texts. They should have one layer for them. Measurements 1. And measurements 2. And let me think if we need something else. Well, maybe these are enough for now. We can these are the main layers that we need to have right now. Yes. So when you start to draw something to the drawing, there will be in the properties you can check. So now I have my active layer is number 0. But maybe if I want to start building walls to my home yard barn, I want the layer to be walls. And now the color for the layer is 1, and it's a black. But in case you want, you can change the color to something else if you like. Maybe number 8, or maybe something completely different there. Well, do those changes, and after that, select from the home ribbon, select rectangle. From that point, you can find 2 options, and I really want us to use this rectangle one. Select the rectangle, make sure you have the correct layer in use, and then before you click anything, check on your coordinates and your relative coordinates that now at the moment they are pretty much the same, and I have the grid space of 10, and it's doing quite it's moving 10 millimeters by time. Find a place where you have it's in a positive side of these coordinates, so the x and y should be positive. And when you find a good place for yourself, if you think this is a good spot, click there and start drawing the rectangle. Now I haven't mentioned, but you can use your scroll to pan around this drawing area, or zoom in and zoom out. You can find it is a good way for you to find it. Don't click the other side of this one. You will be doing. We want this to be 9,000 millimeters wide and 6,000 millimeters tall. So you can check on these relative coordinates, which are now relative for this first click, and you can try to adjust your hand to maybe like so. You will get pretty close to 9,000, but it's a tricky one. Easier way is to use your keyboard and type in at, so it's Alt G, Alt grounded, and number 2 on the keyboard, and then give the coordinates 9,000 for the X, and use comma. Do not use dot, it will make it as a decimal, but use it as a comma, and 6,000 for the Y. And when you press enter, it will draw the uh, whole thing there. After that, you can, maybe we wanted to have an inner wall here as well, uh, but maybe we have a better way for that. So I know that I want my walls to be 200 millimeters thick. I can draw one rectangle inside and maybe check if this is the 200 and so forth, maybe do some calculations for this. But of course, we are doing things with the computer, so we should have some help. And here you can see on the home ribbon, you can find the offset tool. Select that one, point out the rectangle that you drew, click, press enter when all the elements are selected. Now we only had one. Yes. And then show the offset directions. Click to the inner part of this rectangle, click, and give the offset distance of 200 millimeters. Press enter, and you now have these yard barns outer walls done. Save your drawings so you won't lose them. Then we can continue with the indoor walls drawing to this segment. So let's divide the barn into 2 different rooms. I will do the dividing by using the line drawing, but before that I will check from the tools what kind of object snaps do I have selected. At the moment I have only an endpoint object snap, which means that it will grab from the end of any element I'm pointing out. But I also want to have this object snap to midpoint, so it's the middle of this any element I'm pointing to. I will select that one, and for the drawing as well I will select the ortho, which means that this will now the crosshair will be going only for example 90 degrees or only between 60 degrees on the screen or other ones. I will select the 90 degrees here. After that I can select the line. I'm going to draw a line, and it's going to be on layer walls, color 8. Maybe I want to change that one to, well, 252 works fine for me, or maybe I have it a bit darker, 251, like so. And then I maybe want to change the line type from continuous. Well, we don't have it selection available here, so you need to go for the line type. My bad. Select from here, from the drop down, the continuous is now selected. Select other line type, and there you can select, for example, dash dots or centers, whatever line type you may want to have there. I will select OK, and now I have the line starting point. It's asking me to have it to the drawing, so we will be drawing the first part of the wall to the middle of the room. So and now you can see how the snap is working. So it's now taking to the end point, and when I closely go towards the midpoint, it will be on the middle of the line. And here we'll continue there and so forth. Okay, from the midpoint, we will start from there, click on that, and then draw downwards and click again in that place on the other midpoint. And then you should have the drawing scaled, uh, line drawn to the drawing. Well, the scale was in my mind since we cannot see the dots or dashes here since the line type is centers. In case I change the line type factor, for example 50, we can see there are some center dashes on this line type. So I will change it back to 1. But what is now a problem with this drawing is that it is in scale of 1 to 1, but we are drawing a floor plan of a barn. Maybe we want it to be on 1 to 50. This is something you can do when you start the drawing, or then you can do it afterwards. Sometimes you need to change it afterwards from 1 to 20 to 1 to 50 or something else. Or you can find the scale or set scale here on tools. Select that one, and from the drop down you can find the 50. So this means things should be going smoother into the drawing. When you press OK, you can see the line here changed. The scale is now 1 to 50. When I have nothing to, it's on the properties window, you can see it's 1 to 50, and I haven't changed anything. When I select the line, it still has the line type factor 1, but since we set the scale again, first of all, I changed the scale factors to 50 for the line type, and in that way it was visible that there is some not continuous line in use, but now we changed the drawing scale, and in that order the scale of this line type went correctly. Now when we continue for the doors, make sure you change your line type back to continuous, or in case you want to use this centered for the doors, that's fine, but I recommend you use it that way. Then after the walls, we go to the drawing doors. I will change my layer to doors, and maybe I want to have these magenta doors in this drawing for some reason. And again, before we continue, I want to, well, let's have these object snaps. I will deselect the midpoint, but still I will have the endpoint selected. Line type is continuous, so I can start drawing a line. First of all, let's draw the doors into the corner of the wall and then move it to the right place afterwards. Start again drawing a line from bottom, and now if you move your cursor to the top, it wants to draw it to the sideways. So press Shift key on your keyboard. First of all, it will release the ortho. You notice when you press the Shift, it will release the ortho, which it will undo the settings that you have toggled on. But when you press Shift and right mouse click, you will get temporary snap settings. And here I will select the nearest. So I can select the nearest object snap so the line can go straight up, like so. Click there and my door is done. or not done. It's the first part of the door. Right. Press S to end the line drawing, so you don't have anything uh, selected. Click on the first part of the door. I will do one thing so you can see my things in a better way. I will change the general settings. I will change the handle color to black so you can see it in a better way, like so. Now there are the black ones here. They used to be yellow, but with the white background you cannot see that. Um, Here you can, I want to make a door that is 1 meter wide. So it means that or the frame is 1 meter wide. I will start doing this by copying the um, uh, so I will select the line. I will use my right mouse click and then select copy. Another option is to select this copy function from the ribbon. Select that one. Follow the line here. Select objects to copy. That one, yeah, and then press enter when everything is set. Vice versa, which way you want. The base point means that it's the base point of the copy part. It doesn't matter where you click. I will click here and start to move towards right. Now make sure that you have the ortho again on. You can toggle it on by clicking here. You can use F8 button to toggle it on and off, or even use your shift key if you like. But I will now just point out the direction that I want it to be copied, and I will just type in that it's 1000 millimeters or drawing units into this direction. Press enter, like so. Then the same thing again. Now let's think that it's a 1000 millimeter draw. The frame should be in each side. It should be 50 millimeters. So again, copy, and this should be 50 millimeters from here. There's the frame, and on the other side, again, copy to the other direction. Also, notice that you can copy by using the draw commands or the AutoCAD commands. One is to use, if you use Cadmatic or draw commands, it's the insert key on your keyboard, and to the other direction, 50 millimeters, enter, and press S to end. Then we need to draw the step for this door. And you can, again, we don't have the midpoint selected yet, but we can do it by using Shift, right mouse button, and midpoint, and draw it from there to here. And now you don't need to use this one because the midpoint in the other direction, since I have my author toggled on, so it will go pretty much in this correct direction, like so. In case you want, you can change the line type for this one. Maybe it should be dashed or something. You can change it. So you can see it's the step from outside to inside in that location. Then select from here the door. We want to actually make the door frame or the actual door to be here. So this is a 1000 millimeter wide door, and we will take off 50 millimeters from each side. So in the mathematics that I have learned, it will be 900 millimeters wide door. So I will grab from the handle and just click there. Don't use your clicked, just click it, and you can move it, and you can raise your hands from the mouse, and then give the displacement of 900 units to here. So you will again just point out the direction where you want it to be going. Make sure you have the ortho toggled on again. And so I have my barn door here, the 900mm door. And the last thing that I'm missing is to have the arc. And I want to use the arc as a chord arc, which means I will point out the two dots where the arc ends and stops. And after that, I will just give the perimeter point. So chord arc. Now I have the endpoint snap. It's quite useful here. Start from there. You can now use F8 to toggle off the ortho. Then select the other end, and then you will have the door frame like so. Click there and use Enter just to, or ESC to get out from this door frame setting. Remember to save your drawing. Now you have different parts of the here in this door. You have even the outer door walls. You may want it to be so that when you select some part of this door, it will be selected as a whole. So in that case, you want to go to the Tools ribbon and select Groups. Here is a setting. You can create a group which lets you to select all the objects that you want to be part of one group. This is not a symbol, but a group of elements which will be selected every time you click any of those. They all will be selected. I use the window selection from bottom to top, since now it selects only the elements that are completely inside this window. Click that way, so now I have only the door, and then press Enter. And now when you select any part of this door, it will select all of these. You can also ungroup them. It means that you won't be having these group settings here anymore. You will need to group it again. There is also this group dialog, which you can check out how it works. But then you can also toggle on and off in case you want to have these groups on this active drawing. Do you have the group selection activated? If you deselect that one, you can again select any of these, but you can just turn on the group selection, and in that case you don't have to degroup or ungroup these. You just don't have the group selection function in use. Okay, well, now we have done this whole grouping set here. We can just move this door a bit to the right so it's not completely in the corner. When you select any part of this door, you can go to this move section on the home ribbon, move it again, and give the base point and move. Well, I didn't have the ortho on. I will toggle the ortho on. Another way is to select the door. Use your right mouse click. For me, this is much faster one to do. Move and then point out the direction. Give the displacement of 300 millimeters. Press Enter, and there you go. I have my first door in place here. Then we want maybe to have this door on the other side of this barn as well. We will be doing it so that we will mirror this door. Again, select the door, right mouse click, and then mirror. or you can find the mirror function on the ribbon as well. I highly recommend you learn how to use these context dialog features because they are much, much faster. Select mirror, then select the point for the mirror line. And now we didn't end up this wall on purpose, so we can get it to the mirror line. You can of course use the midpoint, but this is also available for us now. Select the mirror point and check how it turns. Now I have my ortho toggled on, but if you press shift button, you can see how the mirror is functioning, so how it reflects the object to the place. But when you have the ortho toggled on, it's easy to have this point here. When you think it's in the correct place, click, and then the command line asks that maybe do you want to erase the current? Well, obviously no, because we want to spare this door in the other side as well. Okay, and now we are done with these two doors. And here you have two doors which both have the group sectioning or group features. And now you can again try group selection on and off. Now it's off. Yeah, it works correctly. And when you put it back on, you will have the groups there. Then, as mentioned, we didn't complete the mid wall here between the two spaces. So we may want to do some changes for that since it's in the middle of the room. So maybe we just want to. So first of all, this this wall maybe should be somewhat 100 millimeters thick, since we have 200 millimeters thick on the outside. So how to move things here? Maybe you select something on the drawing, use your right mouse click, and then select move. This one we already did for the door. Point out the direction that you are moving it, and we wanted the wall to be 100 millimeters thick, so that direction should be 50 millimeters. Didn't move that much. Select the wall again, then copy it using which are these features you want, maybe context dialog for, or from the home ribbon, which way you want it. Copy it, base points, and again move or show the direction you want it copied, and the displacement 100 millimeters. Then enter and press ESC when all the walls are set. Again, save the drawing. After this, we may want to do some sort of window here as well. And the window we want to make, maybe it should be like 100 and 1.5 meters from here, and it should be a bit bigger, let's say 2 meters wide, and two of those here. So we can start doing the window again using the line command. Before that, change your layer from doors to windows, and maybe change the color of there as well. Maybe number 5 is okay. I don't know if we can see it here, but we can change it afterwards. Then select the line that we are going to draw, and from there again, let's start drawing. Well, not click the corner here. We wanted it to be 1.5 meters from this corner. So select shift and use your right mouse click. So it's the temporary object snap, and then give an select, for example, this XY offset. It means that the drawing will start when you type in the offset here. Click there. The X offset, so sideways, should be 0, and the Y offset should be 1500. Okay, and the offset base point is now still in the corner, like so. And the endpoint for the line, well, now you can see it started drawing it here, since I made it to be 1.5 meters from the corner. And I will select the nearest object snap again from the Shift plus right mouse click, and then where is the line there? And I will have it there. So here is my first line. I will do it one more time to the other side, so you don't have to rewind this one. So I selected the line, then Shift plus right mouse click, XY offset, give the offset X was 0 and Y offset was 1500, and then the base point for that one is in the corner, and now it will start drawing it here, and then the nearest snap, like so. So what we did, we created this window, first set for the window both sides. Then we should copy things here. Maybe we do the first part. I said we want to have this 2-meter long or wide window displacement. I selected both window frames, so it should be the 2000 that way. Yes, there we have it. And then again, let's have it a copy, give it a 50 millimeter, like so, and from the other side as well, copy it downwards and give it a 50 millimeter. So now we have a window there, and last thing we need is to have this midpoint here and draw the window frame to be there, and I will copy it from here to the other window. So I will have 2 windows and then 2 doors in the exercise. Then we have these measurements to be set for the drawing. We already made the layer for them. We have the measurements 1, so it's first type of measurement. Measurements can be found from the annotate ribbon, and you can use the linear dimension, and you can decide even if you want to use the horizontal or vertical dimensions to be measured. I will select the horizontal linear dimension there and just point out the 2 points here, and it will be the 9000 millimeters for there. Oh, then I have, maybe I want this one to be black, and the active color as well should be black. I will do the same dimensions for the vertical way, and select that one and give the elevation, or the dimension rather, to this side. In case you want to create your own dimension styles, you can create them there. Maybe create a new one, use the old standard as your let's have the measurement 2. Yep. And then Few things maybe that I want to have here. Maybe the text size should be a bit smaller. Arrowheads, yeah, maybe not them. Maybe I want to have an architectural tick in there as well. And the lines, maybe not those ones going. No, this was the overall there. And maybe just a bit shorter line here, like that. You can try to do different type of dimension styles that you want. Then press OK. Select the measurements to the new one and make current. Then you can press close. And let's have this continuous dimensions horizontally and start doing. I will point out the corner and then the door. So it will show me that, yeah, this here. Then I will set the door frame there, like, and that's the last one. We can change these settings afterwards as well, so you don't have to do the measurements all over again. Use the vertical continuous dimensions as well from there, and the window frame. So, and there. So now we have a bit different kind of this measurement style. So we can select the measurement 2 and change, for example, -1. You can check how it comes when you check 0. But -1 at least, it will delete all these excessive lines from the lines there. And then you press OK, and the excessive lines will disappear. Another way is to have, maybe you have 3 here. You can check these extension lines. Do you want them to be there at all? You can have them off. Okay, so you will now only have the architectural tick on that place. And now in case I want to change these, of course I wanted them to be on the layer measurements too. That's something. But in case some of these, or maybe I want to change these main measurements here, I want to change the dimension style. I can change to measurement 2, and it will change those measurement styles as well. But I'll Control Z to make it back again. Then after we have done all the measurements, we can continue with the printing options. And before printing, we need to set a drawing area and set the paper where we are actually printing this whole designing that we have done. From annotation, you can set the drawing area of your drawing. You can select that one. This is the most easiest way to start doing the layout side. The layout will appear here. So when you select set drawing area, it will actually open you this set sheet dialog. You can select different type of paper sizes, and I'd say the A3 landscape is quite okay with the size. There's also possibilities to use some custom sheets. There are A3 or A4 multiplying sizes in case you want, or some printer sheets that you have. But keep in mind that we are going to do just the PDF file for us. Then, I suggest you use the fold marks on the frame here and give the drawing scale 1 to 50 as it is on the current scale. If you want, you can set the left corner to this model side here, so you can define where is the sheet going to be on this drawing. Then this is important that you add a sheet to paper space, meaning there is now a sheet will be appear when you create this layout one. You will have a sheet there, and it will have a viewport. We will check right after this one how it will look. Then if you want, you can use margins, and you can set them 555 250, or then you can set a 5 also to this right side. And then you press OK. And in case you don't want to print out this viewport, you can set it here, or afterwards you can set it do not print in the layout, sorry, layer functions as well. Then you press OK. There you have the A3. So it will be A3 at this place, like so. And now it created my layout here, and it's asking for an insertion point, which I want to be the origo. So it's 0,0 and enter. So what it made, nothing for this model space here, but rather it's in the layout session, and you can find this frame here, and it will have the viewport which you can adjust in case you want it to be like a smaller one. When you select it, you can double click into it, you can pan in it, double click outside, you can go back, you can widen it. In case you want to change your sheet size, select edit sheet, and you can give some bigger, maybe the width should be more or less, you can select that, or the height, you name it, you can change it here. In case you went into the viewport, so now this is a bolded section, and you scrolled out, now the scale is gone, it's not anymore 1:50. You can change it from the tools, select viewport, and then zoom to 1:50. And that way you are back on track. You can pan it, but now again, if you zoom in or out, it's not anymore in the scale. You need to zoom to 1:50, and in that case, now the scale is back on. Double click outside, and it should be fine. One thing we didn't make, we can actually do some calculations also for here. So just to go back in time before the printing options, you can go select calculate. And what I want to calculate is the area of both rooms in this shed. And I will select area like so. And I will define area with points. So I will type in points to this command line, press enter, and then I will select all these 4 points of this shed or the room, press enter. Well, yeah, the area is quite big, looks like it exponentially big, but when you change it to be square meters, it will become a better one. There is also some ways to do the rounding in case you want to change those. And when you want to insert this information to the drawing, you can just press insert and put it there. One more time, calculate area, points, enter it, click the points, close, and then check the area, change the unit to square meters and insert. And there you go. 2 similar size rooms, which are pretty much the mirror of each other. Yes, so now we can go back for the printing options. And the printing, first thing we should do is go, not the print, I was going for general settings, check about the printing options. Now, these printing options are also taught in the electrical basic layout and schema trainings how to do the printing, but here's one place again, all over again, how to do it. You need to have some printers in your Windows installed already. For me, I have this HP Design Yet, and here are some other printers that I have. If I want to use this HP, I select that one. Then I go to properties. I can change all the things. First of all, in the properties, check that you have the correct paper size. For me, it's this big, and I suggest that you create these paper sizes that are actually big enough for into your use. For me, I will save it as a landscape, as a custom, like so. I will set the default printing style. Let's check what the printing styles are a bit later. Here you can still select the different paper size if you change that one. Landscape and landscape here. And this is something you always set to be on scale. I would say that you shouldn't, especially when doing some arrangement drawings, do not use the fit. It means that when you fit something, it will fit it to this 3.5 meter paper, and it means when it's something is here, it looks like it's in scale, but when it stretches the whole plan for the 3.5 meter paper, it's not anymore in scale. So use the scale pretty much every time. Print a frame, print a file, PDF file, and then this is most important thing. Now you are printing A3 size layout. You have 3.5 meter long paper. Please remove empty trailers from PDF. After that, press OK. Now I have my new one. That's an example printer there. And let's check on the print style table. Let's go check on the properties of this one, black and white. Pretty much everything is now, we have all the colors that you can put to your CAD drawing, and here is a color that it will be printed out. So everything will be black. But I remember we had this, let's say color 7, it was something else. We can change the color of that if we like. We can even add more print style tables if we want to the drawing. Also, some default widths are different. Color 1 is 0.18 millimeters, and this color 7 is 1.4 millimeters. So there are somewhat differences between them. Then check on the black and white PDF. So there's the same thing for that one, but the line width will be a bit different. Okay, so I have my new example printer set as default, and let's have the black and white be our default printer print style table. Press OK and OK. Go to the layout, and when you want to print out things, you can just select, for example, the printer on the top. Select that one. It will select this print options. Then you can select print, for example, print frame here. Then you set the frame or click on the frame and enter, and you will again find the settings. And the last one is to select the frame itself and then right mouse click and print sheet, which still will open this print frame option. Print frame option has an example printer. Yeah, this is a print style table that we want to use. And then here is the drawing directory. It will create the PDF file to this directory. It will create a PLT/date subdirectories there. Paper size will be the custom one, which we already have. Drawing will be sheet scale. Yeah, and the name of the drawing will be floor plan 2, as the DRW is as well. Then you press OK, and the printing is done. You can jump for the drawing directory using right mouse click there, and there you can see it made me the PLT, the date, and now the floor plan. Oh, it's on the second screen. Bad. And there. Now you can see the line thickness is pretty vast now. So these are the 1.4 millimeter. Even this number 5 was quite thick line. So I will close this one and do some modifications. I will go settings, general settings, printing, and I will copy the black and white BB2. So select properties, and I will select them all and give the default width of let's say 0.3 millimeter. Set OK. Set that as a default. Set OK again, and then print sheet, and make sure I use the example printer, yes, and the black and white too, which I selected. Set OK, yes, replace that one, and now if I select, it should look somewhat different in that way. So now we have the printing done for this exercise, and you can maybe continue learning things about the Cadmatic Draw by finding some functions there that maybe you find interesting, and please use the help and use the search bar to help you out.